Welcome back to another video. Bradford announced that Vadaine Oliver has departed the football club on loan to Stevenage until the end of this season. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. Like the video if you do go on to do so, and subscribe if you're new. 4 away now, I think, till 250, so the support is massively appreciated. So, Vadaine Oliver is off. What are your thoughts on this? Now, I think a lot of people are anticipating a permanent deal. It came about, was it Monday night, when it was all over Twitter that Stevenage were to sign Vadaine Oliver. I think someone put it on, and he had a mate who was a Stevenage fan, and that's where it came about. So I didn't really think there was a lot of credibility in it when someone's saying that my mate's a Stevenage fan and he said it's a done deal. I wasn't too sure about that, but it materialised and it has turned out that he has signed for Stevenage. I think it's a great deal for both parties. I think Vadaine Oliver had to leave the club for his own good, to try and get more games and to build his reputation back up, because it's been a disaster of a move for him, but also for us because he's probably one of our highest paid players. He came in with a lot of hope and promise as our starting number 9 to challenge Andy Cook under Mark Hughes in his first summer window, and it hasn't worked out. Clearly, League One clubs are after him at the top end. He had a very good spell at Gillingham under Steve Evans. That's where he's going to be now at Stevenage with Steve Evans, so it's a bit of a match made in heaven with Vadaine Oliver, and he suits their style of play. The question I have with it is, with his move, not ours, is that there is a lot of strikers at Stevenage, so will he be getting the game time that he wants? But with it being a loan opposed to a permanent, I'm not completely against it. A permanent would have been nice, it just finishes it. It's dead then. He's gone. He's no longer a City player. We're not tied to him anymore if it does not work out at Stevenage. But if it does work out at Stevenage, he gets around double figures, which I think he will get around that. If he does get a run of games over there, I think he'll work out with Steve Evans. I really do. But if it does, it means that we might be able in the summer to sell him on, because his market value might have risen a bit, which is only good for us. And maybe we might look at starting him ourselves, but I think we've got to replace him. I don't think we can just sit here now and put that money towards contracts, which is, I think it's a massive thing. We've got to start looking at the contracts of Halliday Point and a few others, first teamers like your Stubbs and your Chapmans, who are running out at the end of the season, who I'd prefer to get it done with. So that's something we have to look at, but the priority now is replacing Oliver, because when you look at Alexander, he likes the two up top. I don't like it. The two big men I don't like. I'm not opposed to two up top, but with the recent games and the last few subs appearances that Oliver's made, he's come on to play with Cook up top, and obviously Alexander sees that as his thing that he believes can change a game, bringing on a big man who can have a battle with the defenders, can make an impact, create some out of nothing, maybe win free kicks and build territory, and that's how I probably see him looking at Vadaine Oliver and think he can be that presence. But I think after his sub appearance on the weekend, and a lot of fans picked up on it, he wasn't that. He wasn't winning his aerials, he wasn't making an impact, and the only impact he's made under Alexander, and only real thing he's done at City was win a penalty against Crawley in a 4-2 defeat. I know he scored a couple last season in January. I think one of the goals in that game was an own goal, actually, thinking back, but he hadn't had a good time of it here, and he has to go down as a massive flop, because like I said earlier, he came in to challenge Andy Cook for that number 9 shirt, if not actually start ahead of him. He was Mark Hughes' number 9, and he didn't get a run of games, but he didn't warrant a run of games. I think Roy Keane, I'm thinking of, it doesn't matter who it was, but the point remains that you've got to fight for your place in the team. In training, you've got to put 100% in, you've got to be committed, you've got to make sure that you're in the manager's eyes. When you come off the bench, you've got to make sure you make an impact, that you've got eyes on you, you are doing 100% what you can to try and change that game. And then when you get your chance to start, you've got to make sure you grab a goal if you're a striker, you've got to make sure you're challenging for everything, and you've got to make sure you win your duels, and you've got to make an impact on the game. And he hasn't done that in the training. He's had a few training injuries that have caused him to be out for long term. When he's come off the bench, like on the weekend, he hasn't made an impact. And when he started, he hasn't done enough to keep Andy Cook out of the team, like last January, when he had a run of 5 or 6 games, was it? And he never really did enough to keep Andy Cook out of the team, because when Cook came back in against Mansfield, I think it was, he scored or he might have even got a brace, and Oliver only got 1 goal in that one. So he didn't do enough, and to cut ties with a loan, we get a share of his wages out the door. I think it makes sense for everyone. So let's have a quick look at the fan comments to the statement on the Twitter feed, Twitter post, whatever you want to call it. Accent, actually, I don't care. I'm always going to call it Twitter, so you know what I'm on about anyway. Loan to a higher club is crazy. It is, but when you look at it with Steve Evans, I think it makes sense. And if it's any other League One club, I think you question it. But with it being Stevenage and Steve Evans, I think it does make sense. It's a good deal if Stevenage had taken on all or the majority of his wages. Definitely agree. Bobby and Brad. Contract extensions next, please, and throw a few more pennies at Young. 100% agree with that. A few shouts of loan ? And I do think that is something that you think about straight away when you expect a permanent. You see that it's a loan and you think permanent would have made more sense. But like I've already said, I'm not against it being a loan, because in the summer it does open up a few more different scenarios that we can go down, similar to what Jake Young was, but obviously he's maybe 10 years older than Jake Young, so you're not going to get the same money that we should be demanding of Young. Good luck to him. Hope he keeps them up. Hope he keeps them up. Alright. He didn't really fit our system style. Also, he never produced what we thought he would. He was meant to be this marquee signing for us, but we've seen nothing to suggest it. Good for both parties. Hopefully he blossoms under Steve Evans. ... I think he'll definitely keep them up. I don't think there's any shout about a relegation battle for Stevenage. Maybe have a quick look at the League One standings. You might be shocked there. Announced Charlie Wyke could be a good shout. I don't think it'll happen, to be honest with you. But if that did happen, that would be fantastic. But I don't think. Again, I don't think it'll happen. But that would be a certain surprise if we did get that ex-player back, because it would be one of the better ones that we brought back over the years. Another gent masterclass. How much money per goal have we spent on this waste of space? I'd definitely second that. Smart move if he does well. It's either a boost for us or a good fee to sell him. Wish him the best of luck. Good luck, mate. Had it rough with surgery and niggles. Hope you get some needed game time. Good luck to him. Needs to win the games. Can see him doing well. Should have sent him to Swindon. Yeah, if only. But I think he'll do well there. Anyway, wouldn't surprise me if he went on to bag 15 goals and be brilliant. Certainly won't. Good luck, Vadaine. Good bit of business all round. Now someone decent in. Good luck to the fella. Sometimes it didn't work out. Was never going to get in ahead of Andy Cook, and he's got a chance of playing at a better level than the Kazi League. And then the last one. Why are people surprised it's Loan who is actually going to pay for them and give him a longer contract than his last few seasons? I'm personally surprised anyone is even willing to take him off us. Great bit of business by City. And then we'll make this one last one, because it's a bit different to what we've seen. Always liked him when he played, but being injured and being competing with Andy Cook, who has been destroying League 2. And I think that gives us a fair bit of a different variety of opinions on Vadaine Oliver there. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Stevenage did say Stevenage Football Club have agreed terms with Bradford City for the loan signing of Vadaine Oliver for the remainder of the season. The 32-year-old striker joined Stevenage on loan to work again with Steve Evans, where the manager's leadership helped the forward to 30 goals in just over 19. That would be some return. 90 games for Gillingham in League One. Upon completion of the loan, Steve Evans said, Vadaine is an excellent signing for us. He has always scored goals for me, over 20 when we work together in League One. As a minimum, he works incredibly hard for the team, and I'm delighted to work with him again, subject to FA approval. So I do think it's a good sign for Stevenage, and like everyone said, and I've said, I wish him the best of luck. So Vadaine Oliver has left Bradford City to go to Stevenage. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below, and anything else you want to let me know. Like the video if you did, and subscribe if you're new. We're only a few subscribers away from 250 now, so all the support is massively appreciated. Apologies that the video's out several hours later than I wanted it to be. When the news broke out, I was playing darts, and then 3 hours later I was still playing darts, trying to complete the innovative challenge that I set myself. Was to go from... bear in mind I'm a beginner. I have been for 2 years, a beginner. Average around 40, so I'm not particularly good. But I set myself to go to 20 to 1 without missing a dart. I realise that's highly unlikely. And then, like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you've got £1,000 as your cut off, so you're not going to get any lower than that. So that was my cut off for every 5. So when you get to 15, 10 and 5, that was my cut off. So then I didn't have to go back to 20. So you go 20, 19. If you miss 19, you're back to 20, and you're trying to get to 15 then. So then that's your cut-off. So when you go to 15, you get 14, 13, you miss 13, you're back to 15. And it goes like that. It's fantastic, but frustrating if you're not so good at darts. So I'd only advise it if you're a good darts player, to be honest with you. Otherwise, you will be there for several hours, and you will miss out on doing things that you set out to do. And then I had my tea, lovely haddock, that were brilliant. Better than fish shop. That were great. And then I got sidetracked, but now I'm back to doing a video. So sorry it's out late, but it was. So thanks for all the support anyway, and have a good one.